The dream is that every Muslim is simply able to be treated like everyone else in America, especially New York. Not yet far too long we have been dealing with hatred. No more. We will live not in the shadows. From Mamdani. You're starting to see not his socialism come out, but his Muslim roots. What does this mean? Hakeem Jeffries comes out in full support of Mamdani. We see AOC, we see all this Democratic Party coming out for Mamdani. The same guy who says he wants to abolish land rights, no private property. He wants to up your taxes. He wants to give free government access to everything and wants Muslims to live out loud. Now, if every Democrat is embracing that now, and that is the new platform, what does that say about 50% of America? We're going to discuss that. Also, we're going to talk about how AI will revolutionize America and how it could destroy American jobs, but more than that, the welfare state. That's how the dollar will struggle, because ultimately, listen to this. Of the 350 some odd million people here in America, it says that only 162 million are working. So less than half of the American people are working. Of that, the three biggest providers of jobs are all using AI and will bring it in more. We're going to discuss how important is this, because remember, without people working, without people having babies, then the welfare state, the Social Security Administration, and also the Medicare, all that pay in, will not be going to take care of our seniors. Pay attention to the story. Socialism does not work. This is proof of it. Also, we're going to discuss what the Biden administration did. Tulsi Gabbard just exposed it. Also, we're talking about the numbers. We're talking about how broke we are as a government, broke in Social Security we are, but you'll be blown away at what we've been paying for the last 4 years. And so far, the only person willing to stop it is Trump. Not the Congress, not the Republican Congress, but Trump. We're going to discuss that as well. And then lastly, are we seeing signs of war? 71% of people want to stop Venezuela. We're seeing troops move and get established in the South Command, which is going towards Venezuela. Is this the right move? Personally, I think so, because this is actually a risk to America. We're not talking about inhabitants in Venezuela or Colombia, but we are talking about making America great. Let's dive into all these stories today and so many more, because this is a big video. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for being here today. We are so humbled by you supporting us and watching our content. We hope that it helps you be wiser and gain a common sense approach of the world that we live in. I mean, for instance, what we're going to be talking about is truthfully two different ways of thought patterns. Freedom, American first, and living for, your family, or completely moved away from that and going to socialism and Muslim rule. You don't believe me? Wait to hear some of these stories. Now let's jump into those stories because it's of the utmost importance. I want you to listen to what Zohran Mamdani just came out, had a press conference, or basically speaking to the cameras just by himself. I want you to listen to this. The dream of every Muslim is to simply be treated as one. Our goal is to be out of the shadows. No more bigotry, no more. No more hatred, no more. Now what he's saying is the Islam people have been held down for so long, which is a complete and utter farce. But what he is saying now is he's kind of skipping over the socialism stuff and going straight to Muslims will be forefront. He said that Muslims will be in City Hall more. He says that we will bring more of what London and Birmingham and places in UK has seen. He wants to bring that here. Now, did you know this? I want to make sure you understand this. It says the world's weight of poverty, troubles, and problems such as civility, which is like uncivility, civil wars, problems that they face completely and overtly the problem of North Africa and the Middle East. That the world's problems, the world's hunger issues, the world's water issues, the world's crutch, meaning the world has to pay in, give more, do more for the North African countries in the Middle East. Now, who does that represent? The majority of all those nations is Muslim rule. So we're importing that here, and we now have a leader that's going to be over the biggest financial city in America. And they're telling you exactly what their plans are, is to make it more Muslim. That's what they're telling you. Now, he wants to take away your private land, tax you more, and also make sure that everything is free that the government is giving you. Now, let's go to these stories, because this is where you need to really pay attention. First of all, who is supporting him? Hakeem Jeffries. This is the minority leader of the Congress, is now supporting him. Now, Schumer has kind of walked back and forth, but ultimately he knows he's going to face AOC in a battle for New York Senator, which again, Chuck Schumer has been in Congress and Senate for way too long. So he's probably going to be out of time anyway. AOC is going to probably beat him for sure. But you're seeing this maneuvering of the Democrat Party back this guy instead of Andrew Cuomo. No, Andrew Cuomo is a joke to me. Complete and utter hack. But you're seeing the Democrat that tends to be establishment is going to lose out to the socialist, communistic Muslim. And that guy is going to be the face of the new party of this America First movement for the Democrats. Now, did you hear what I said? The America First movement of the Democrats. The Democrats are pushing nothing America First. I want you to listen to some of these numbers, and you don't believe me. His goal is to abolish ownership of private lands, to tax the white neighborhoods and the more affluent neighborhoods. Our goal is to be completely free in helping people with free transportation, free Medicare, free health, free housing, free grocery stores and food. Now, if you know like me, nothing in the world is free. It's going to cost someone. Well, who's it going to cost? The rest of us. I want you to listen to these numbers. Now, this is the same guys telling you everything is free. I want you to listen to what happened the last 4 years in the Biden administration. Right now, Social Security is more broke than it's ever been. We wonder why. Well, because we gave everybody free stuff, correct? Listen to what the free stuff cost. 3.9 million illegals were given Social Security and Medicaid over the last 4 years. In each of these situations, receiving $2,000 a month. So 3.9 million illegals got $2,000 a month from the government. It got taken out of your welfare system, because remember, we're building this welfare system that's getting bankrupt by the people coming in, such as all these Muslims and extremists coming from overseas, and all this this liberal ideology of bringing the third world to here. Listen to what it costs us. That was a $1.9 billion cost every month. So basically, $2 billion it cost us monthly to house just 3.9, and it was robbing Social Security and Medicaid. It said whoever decided this is actually the ones who put the seniors' life at risk. Now, I want to go to this next comment, because this goes right into it. If we choose to realize the cost of democracy and what it's going to put on America, it means that the Democrats right now, the shutdown's going on, they're wanting to spend an extra $3 to $4 trillion a year automatically in this new shutdown bill. You do realize that. So we're already $2 trillion in the hole. The Democrats are wanting to spend another $3 to $4 trillion. It equates every year. So that means they're wanting to cover more illegals, more government intervention. We can't afford it. But let's go on with this extra story that's going to prove that not only can we not afford it, think of what this is going to do to America. I want you to listen to what was just said on the All In Pod. I thought this was just absolutely nail on the head. Walmart, Amazon is the two biggest hirers of people in America. Not only that, the third biggest hire is people who work in the tax, Uber, and DoorDash industry. So they actually have more people that work in the tax, Uber, and DoorDash industry, independent contractors that is doing that for other people. Those three sets of individuals. 2.1 work for Walmart, which is about almost 1.5% of the population. 1.1 for Amazon, which is almost 1%. 3 million plus for the DoorDash, Uber, and taxi service, which is going to be around 2 or 3%. Now, listen to this. Of the 350 million people that is supposedly living here, plus the extra 20 or so million illegal immigrants that are not notated, only 161 million people are actually working in America. So that 161 million is actually the taxation and the tax base to impact the rest of America's spending. Okay? Follow me here. If they're saying that 40% of the workforce that is working today by 2028 to 2030 because of robotics and AI will be out of jobs. So now you're saying of that 161 million, that around 40 million to 50 million could easily be without a job, and at the upwards of around 70 million. Okay? So that means only 20 to 30% of people are working that's paying into the government. Of that, the three biggest hirers, Amazon, Walmart, and of course the DoorDash industry, the delivery service industry, they said that plus the hotel clerks plus the sales marketing on phones will be the hardest hit. So they said of these three industries that are the biggest hirers, not only will 40% of the workforce probably be without jobs because of AI, these three will be hit the hardest because these are the ones going to more automated services with robotics. Amazon just came out and stated that they were looking to get rid of 600,000 American workers. So if we see these programs by the Democratic side wanting to spend more of your money, wanting to embrace socialism, communism, and of course this Muslim rule, what does that actually mean for the rest of the people that's actually working and is getting taxed in America? It means you will not make it. You cannot afford to make it. That means your taxation will get higher. They just said for New York, along with Chicago, along with San Francisco, they're putting wealth taxes into all these places to pay for what government spending is lacking. It says in California that they're doing emergency taxation because the federal funding, Trump cut a lot of that crazy, stupid funding that Gavin Newsom was spending. So now they're going to overtly tax the white affluent neighborhoods to take care of more people in California. I want you to listen to the stats, and this is, again, supporters of Mandani that says that he is the new face of America. I want you to listen to this number from Chicago. This should blow your mind. Murder rate per 100,000 people. In Chicago, the murder rate per 100,000 people is 21.5 right now, based on statistics, based on the numbers of homicides that are going on. 21.5. In Kabul, Afghanistan, right now it's only 4.0, meaning for Chicago, there is more people and it's more dangerous to live in a democratic liberal city than it is to live in the Middle East right now. That was a war zone that's going through civil war. J.B. Pritzker keeps saying that there will be no military helping here. Our goal is just to take care of people. We need more funding, not troops. And you hear that? So again, they're not labeling the problem. They're just wanting to keep throwing money at the problem, and it will never be the solution. This is the Democratic Party as a whole, guys. This is why you cannot embrace this. Not only are we allowing infiltration of this Muslim way that's not even part of our DNA, not only are we allowing that, we're allowing for this communistic, socialistic thing that we moved away from, that we built freedom for 250 years ago. And now we're allowing this party, the Democratic Party, to overtly take that. Portland, 2 conservatives were assaulted in Portland. Did you know the police did not even come and check on them? It took 2 hours for them to respond, and ultimately nothing happened. So the rulers of these liberal cities are destroying America. And when the cities go, the rest of America will go too. Especially when you're putting the new leaders of the party over the biggest cities, and they're telling you exactly what they're wanting. No privatization of land. Basically take away all costs to the lower income. Give them free stuff. Make them dependent. And tax the wealthy. Remember, only 40% of the people are working now. 45% is working in America. If AI and robotics, like Elon, like all these big players are saying, that's going to take over jobs by 28 and 30, there will be no workforce to tax, which means we will move into a complete and utter communist system where we keep printing money and keep ripping people off and taking people's assets. That's what that means. There's not one socialist or communistic country in the world that's actually been successful in this. And somehow we allow the Democrats to be the party, and this guy is going to overwhelmingly win. The biggest city that is the financial hub of America, he's fixing to win. I want to read this quote, and I thought this quote just goes along with everything that we talk about because we trust the government for some reason and the media. The same people who told you that this was safe, now that RFK is exposed at showing this not safe, it's actually caused problems, it's actually caused cancer, it's actually caused issues, is the same people telling you that they will keep you safe in this new world. The same people that told you this was safe in 2020, the same people that said this is the answer, this is what's going to make your life better, is the same people that now are telling you they're going to keep you safe and make sure you're protected under this quote-unquote new world that Mamdani's wanting. This is the battle that we're going to face in America. Freedom versus control. There was a commentator that, he's actually a billionaire. He said, we're going to be looking at extinction level events in America if we allow for this kind of thinking that Mamdani and that the Democrats are pushing in liberal cities like Brandon Marshall or whatever his name is in Chicago, like Pritzker, like Gavin. He said if we allow this thought pattern to keep spreading, he said it will be like a true bacterial infection. And he said it will cause extinction level events because we're not prepared to face it again. We will then bow down to him and be dependent on him because what they're going to say is they're going to give you all this free stuff and everybody's going to take it hook, line, and sinker. And he says, as someone who looks at the markets, again, he's a billionaire, he said, for someone who looks at the markets, I've seen this not work anywhere across the world. I love what Joe Rogan says. It says, most people are good until we start getting and buying into the narrative. And the media and politicians are just turning us into complete enemies. See, the division is from the same people that we're supposed to trust. They're building a dividing line, which will cause for more unrest in the cities. Now I want to go to what Trump is doing, and 71% of Americans have come out in pure support. Now, if you, again, we talk about the liberal cities, we talk about Appalachia, we talk about your community. I know you know someone that's been affected by drug use. I mean, it's happening everywhere. It's so sad, heartbreaking. And a lot of that problem, of course, is from China, but what it does is it comes through Venezuela and Colombia. They're known as big drug cartels. Mexico, of course. So Trump has been stopping that. Well, it's came out that Trump is now upping the force for the South Command, which is what the military and the Navy that's going towards, basically battling versus Venezuela. They've already come out and said, we will do covert options to take care of this. Now, what's so funny, before this threat really was here, before Trump really put people on, going towards Venezuela, the Venezuelan leader was like, we're going to fight, we're going to be there, we're going to destroy. And now that it became real, go watch his interviews. This man is begging and pleading Trump for peace. He knows his days are numbered. Now, do I say that we should take, quote unquote, the leader out? No, that's not my goal in this. Now, will he probably not be in power much longer? I figure he's not. That could be through CIA, it could be through local people. I don't believe he will be in power long, and I don't believe the Colombia leader will be in power long either. But taking out these boats is a good thing. If people are running drugs to America or getting avenues to where they can get across the border, they need to be stopped. A lot of our problem, if you look at some of these videos of the cities and riots and protests, most of them is people so loaded on all this drugs that it's just destroying America. We used to do missions down in New Orleans, me and Misty and a group of individuals. This was years ago. And sadly, most of the people that we encountered that were on the streets, that were begging for money, begging for needs, even theft and homeless and not able to eat, most of them had drug problems at one time, and it's ruined their life. Why do we want to keep on letting this happen? You know why I believe the Democrats want this to happen? Because, see, California said they were going to, quote unquote, help the homeless and get the drugs off the street. What they did is made places for drug use to keep on going. So they made safe places for people to use. What it does is, because of NGOs and because of our stupid government, we overpay for that to keep on happening. So we give grants to California to, quote unquote, clean up the homeless problem, and it's actually made it worse. Because instead of helping the problem and fixing the problem, we throw money at it, and it ends up not being the solution. It makes more of a problem. But it's allowing for California to keep rolling in billions for this program. So I believe that's why you see Democrats speak against this, because it gives more government funding to those cities to where they can use it and not actually help the homeless whatsoever. See, it's all just one big scheme. It's so sad. So 71% of Americans are coming out in full support of this. Not one Democrat other than like Fetterman has said this is a good thing to protect our borders. Fetterman, the guy had a stroke that can't hardly speak. He is getting a little bit better, by the way. But he's a leftist too. And he is the only Democrat that is stating that we should protect America. And if it takes this by all means necessary to keep the drugs away from America's shore and to lock the borders down, by all means we should do it. So what we've learned in this video so far is Democrats want to have open borders, want to money launder more, want to take advantage of American people by taxation more, wants to abolish the land, wants to then tax more, and wants to tell you that everything's going to be free. So then the people that are now impoverished will be poor and fully dependent on the government. That's what we've gotten. That's what one party is absolutely pushing for. One party is absolutely pushing for that narrative. I want you to listen to these numbers, and this should make you mad no matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat. It says that, this is crazy, the government tracks improper payments throughout every year. And you should be up in arms about this anyway, because here we are worried about how we're going to pay for our weekly grocery bill. Under the Trump and Obama administration, this is years, the 2015s, the 2009s, basically from 2009 all the way through, we've wasted about 20 to 30 billion a year. That's the waste, the improper payments. Government has just wasted frivolously. Now it's wasted a whole lot more, but these are the ones they can't even find where the improper payments went. So every year from 2008, it's been 43 billion, 41 billion, 36 billion, 31 billion. It went down under the Trump administration a little bit, but ultimately it still was a big waste of improper payments. Listen to this. When Biden took office in 2020, it went from 31 billion to 281 billion. Next year, 247 billion. The next year, 236 billion. So that means they laundered literally quadruple the last administrations. Now, should we have any money that's considered improper? No, it's all frivolous and it's all our money that they're wasting. But now we see it's gotten even worse when the 2020 came. See, we have a broken system. And with AI, with technology, with this one party wanting this full embrace of liberal, communistic, socialistic views, and then fully dependent, and then the guy telling you that he's wanting more Muslims in power, we're basically getting ready to build our own casket for the American empire. That's what's happening. That's why we tell you to be independent and prepare. Grow your food, stockpile food, because if you don't, you're going to see the worldwide problems are now America's problems. And America, if it doesn't thrive, the world doesn't thrive. You know what's so crazy is all the central banks are literally scooping up so much gold because they know without gold, they will not make it across the world, because they know that's the value, that is the value for them as financial institutions. It's unbelievable that we're allowing this to take place. What Trump is doing with helping the drug situation, what Trump is doing with all these other situations, he's trying to make it better. But man, I'm telling you, it is a very deep hole for America that we've got to pull out of. And I'm scared that we're allowing the second biggest party in America right now, the Democrats, who are embracing this new thought pattern of socialism, communism, and Muslims. And this breaks my heart. Because we all have children and grandchildren that's got to grow up in this world. And as long as, God leaves this world here, I don't know if it's going to get better. This is why you've got to be ready. This is why you've got to focus on these stories. Because they're telling you exactly what their plans are, and it's to put you in a convenience prison, a dependency prison. It'd be great to be wild and free, but no, you got to look for your food. You got to do all this responsibility thing. Why don't we just put you in one place of captivity, and then we just feed you, we just home you, we just give you all this stuff, and then we ultimately control you? Do you not see that that's exactly what is taking place? Guys, give me your thoughts on today's video. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you stockpiling? Are you buying things? Are you doing barterable goods? Are you finding other ways to put your money up? Because what we're seeing is control elements that are literally right in front of us. And the downhill slope is showing AI, showing all this way that we're going to lose jobs in America. Why in the world are we not preparing? Let me know your thoughts on today's video. God bless. Yeah.